Breakout or bust. We've got two NBA stars, young players, Brandon Ingram and Marvin Bagley. We'll start off with Brandon Ingram. Breakout or bust, Will?
I say breakout, but I can't see him being a breakout for the Lakers. I say he's going to be a little bit of trade bait in the future, just giving his star power and how he's not really lived up to the extreme hype that he had coming out of college. He had 9.4 points per game in his rookie season, 2016-17 all rookie, but he only started 40 games that season, so he's getting a lot of looks off the bench. Only 20, not only 20, he had 20 minutes a game, so he was doing okay his first season. But he took off last year, 16 points per game. He had uh he had a great 4 assists, almost a steal, almost a block a game. Shot 50% from the field, but I say here's my bold claim: he's going to be traded to the Raptors. So
Wow.
they were trying to trade Brandon Ingram to the Spurs to get Kawhi Leonard to help partner LeBron, but the Spurs were asking for too high of a price. And if the Raptors come in with a shiny DeMar DeRozan, ooh, look, we can't turn this down. We're getting the most value we can out of Kawhi. He goes off to Toronto, so they're not having the best season. So they're like, okay, Kawhi's going to leave us now. He's not going to want to stay. So they're going to try to get some value out of him. So they turn to the Lakers. They offer Brandon Ingram and maybe a pick or two and some young players. Boom, Kawhi's now a Laker. They lose Brandon Ingram. I said it'd be a loss for the team because he looks really good. But that's my prediction. He's going to be a star for the Raptors. He's going to be the star man for that team because they're not going to have any power. They're going to have a lot of cap to build a team around him. And that's my bold claim.
That is completely fair. It's hard to disagree with you when you bring up the points that you do, but I think he is going to be a bust. When Brandon Ingram came into the league, I was very excited because I watched him play at Duke. And when Kevin Durant came out and said, it's like looking in a mirror, that set a very, very high bar for Brandon Ingram, and he has not lived up to the hype. 9.4 points per game in his rookie season, obviously very disappointing. But Kevin Durant didn't come out very strong in his rookie season as well with Seattle. But 16.1 points last season, obviously a bit of a breakout. Great sign for Brandon Ingram. But now you have the greatest player of all time, in my opinion, coming down to LA. Showtime with Lonzo Ball. Brandon Ingram is going to have to play under LeBron's shadow, which is why I agree with you. I don't know if he'll go to Toronto, but he will be traded. And here's another reason why he will be traded. The Lakers only used one max slot in this year's past free agency. Obviously, on LeBron James, they didn't use Paul George, who went to OKC, and he was obviously a favorite to go to LA. Didn't use it on any other free agent like I can't think of any other free agents that had
DeMarcus
big
Cousins.
contracts. DeMarcus Cousins, they could have used it on him. Instead, he took a $5 million deal in Oakland, but a different story for a different time. So in 2019, they still hold on to a max contract. And there are guys like Jimmy Butler, shooting guard small forward, Klay Thompson, also shooting guard small forward, Kyrie Irving, you could put him at shooting guard if you want to, but obviously a true point guard. Kawhi Leonard, another shooting guard, small forward. Those are all Brandon Ingram's position. And when you have a max contract slot, you have to give LeBron one of these players to help him. Klay Thompson would be a good fit. I don't know about Kyrie Irving just because of the whole drama in Cleveland. Jimmy Butler may not be a bad fit. Kawhi Leonard, definitely not a bad fit. Two star players on the same team. Brandon Ingram's going to be gone, which is why I think he'll be a bust. And hopefully he'll be better with a different team. And hopefully he can live up to that hype that Kevin Durant set when he came into the league.
I mean, if you look at the teams LeBron's won a championship with, it's with Chris Bosh, Dwayne Wade, 3 superstars. It's with Kevin Love, Kyrie Irving, LeBron James, 3 superstars.
Yeah.
He has to have 3 to win a championship, and that's the magic number right now. And if he only has 1 right now, and maybe 2 if Brandon Ingram or Lonzo Ball or Kyle Kuzma can break out, which is unlikely to happen in the next couple of years, they have to bring in somebody in. And that's why I think that he's not going to hold on to a spot on the team.
Agree. I completely agree with you. Secondly, Marvin Bagley, Kings power forward, took him with the second pick in the 2000 2018 NBA draft, breakout or bust?
I really want to say breakout, and I think I'm going. But if you look at the similarities, another big player from Duke,
Yeah.
Jahlil Okafor, taken in the top 3 picks.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of similarities, but he can shoot, and that's
He
the big
can.
difference. He shot 60% from the field last season. He had a 62% from free throw, not great, but he averaged 21 points a game, and that's scoring. Scoring matters. The top players in the ACC points per game always translate well to the NBA, and that's why I said Josh Okogie was going to be a breakout earlier. Marvin Bagley was the top points per game in the ACC. Behind him was Tyus Battle and Josh Okogie. Last season, it was Donovan Mitchell and uh, Jason Tatum. That's high praise. Those were 2 candidates for Rookie of the Year who would have won it if Ben Simmons did play the year before. And that's why Marvin Bagley was taken at the number 2 spot. They saw promise in him. He played for a good team in Duke, which is great at finding talent. He was the number 1 prospect coming into college, and he was the number 2 prospect coming out of it. So we kept his value and market, and he took that. He goes into the NBA on a pretty bad team, so he's going to be the face of the Kings. He's going to be the team player that the team looks to build their team around. And if Bagley can become the center of this new Kings team, I see this player becoming a breakout in the.
I can't agree with you more. Obviously, like you said, and that's what I completely agree with you. You said that Marvin Bagley, the difference between him and another big man from Duke and Jahlil Okafor is that Bagley can shoot. Okafor and Bagley play a very similar game. They can drive, they're aggressive, they can post up, but Marvin Bagley gives you that ability to shoot from the outside, shoot from the elbow. And Bagley, he's coming into a league where it's a big man's league. You look at guys like Karl Anthony Towns, Anthony Davis, DeMarcus Cousins, who have all learned how to shoot the 3 ball now consistently. Marvin Bagley is going to have to not only improve his 3-point shot, but show that he's consistent. And I think that he can do that, which is why I'm going with a breakout. Bagley was one of the best players going into college, like you said, number 1 ranked prospect, and then going into the NBA, he was the number 2 ranked prospect, showing he's consistent. He's also got a guy in De'Aaron Fox, who's a very nice distributor for the Sacramento Kings. So that'll only help Marvin Bagley. I think he found a great spot in Sacramento. Could not fit better for the franchise.
And that's a young core with 2 best young talents in the league, and if they can find a max contract spot for some unhappy free agent, I don't know, maybe if they could bribe away someone like Jimmy Butler or Kyrie Irving, although extremely unlikely, that could be an extremely promising team. And if I see a team with such young talent like that, I would want to go join that team. And if they have maybe a 30-40 win season this year, this could be a destination for a lot of players.
Yeah, and like you said, they could go after a guy like Jimmy Butler, Klay Thompson, Kyrie Irving, Kawhi Leonard. List goes on for the next year's free agents. But the problem is, will be able to pay those guys? They obviously saved some money this year, and they were aggressive in free agency, which I liked. They were trying to sign a guy like Marcus Smart, who has been very good for the Celtics. They were trying to sign a young guy like Zach LaVine, who had a great season in Chicago. Obviously, the offer was matched, so he returned to the Bulls. But they're showing that they're not afraid to get aggressive in free agency, which is good because most of the times you see young teams holding off in free agency. Oh no, we're gonna rebuild. We're not gonna sign those big names in free agency. But the Kings are making a good move in being aggressive in free agency. So you give Bagley another star player, he's not only gonna learn under them, but he's gonna become a better player himself. So interesting to see how Bagley will turn out because he has a very promising future in my eyes.
But something I just realized is that if you look at a team that was young, had a lot of talent, was Zach LaVine's former team, the Timberwolves, Karl Anthony Towns, Zach LaVine, and Andrew Wiggins. Extremely young, exciting prospects.
Yeah.
They traded away LaVine for Jimmy Butler, and that ruined the team. they could have had an exciting young team, except now they have an unhappy group of players who thought they should have done better, finishing the 8th spot in the West and get knocked down the first round. Supposed to be a dark horse contender, but didn't do it. And that could be a downfall of the Kings, but they haven't done that yet. But if they keep hold of this young core, maybe sign a couple more young players, sly acquisitions, maybe this could be a fringe playoff contender in 3 years.
I don't know if you can say that Jimmy Butler was a mistake because obviously before his injury, they were the 4 seed and could have definitely passed the Blazers for the 3 seed. So, but obviously Butler wants to leave now, which is why I can see you see it as a mistake. Tremendous asset to the team. I like the trade. They obviously gave up the 7th pick in the 2017 draft. They could have gotten a guy like Laurie Markkanen, Malik Monk, Frank Ntilikina. Tremendous prospects in that draft. But it's difficult because the Timberwolves now have to deal with Jimmy Butler after getting him in a trade, a blockbuster trade. So Jimmy Butler, in my opinion, will definitely be on a different team instead of the Timberwolves later on in his career.
Make sure to watch the whole episode 4 of the Triple Threat podcast on your screen right now. Make sure to subscribe and let me know your questions in the comments below. Signing off from Atlanta, Georgia, William Ezell.